Hello, Honors Algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and I'm going to run through two quick examples of what we talked about in class on Wednesday. This way you'll have a little more concrete. You'll see it a couple of times. And actually, the first example I'm going to do is directly from your homework, and the second one is one I made up, but it applies exactly to what we're doing. Okay, so first of all, remember, step one, we are going to list A, B, and C. A equals, B equals, and C equals. And A is 1, B is 6, and C is 8. Okay, step 2. I'm going to go looking for my discriminant, B squared minus 4AC. Well, that'll be 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8. Following my order of operations, it can be 36 minus 32. And therefore, my discriminant is 4. Right off the bat, remember, I know now that there are two roots or two solutions, two places where the parabola is going to cross the x-axis. All right, step 3. Step 3. I'm going to look for my vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. So the negative of b is negative 6, and 2a is 2 times 1. And if I simplify that, I'm going to get negative 3. Now, I do not know my vertex. That's simply the x-coordinate of my vertex. I have to go looking for the y-coordinate, and I do that by substituting in negative 3 for x, plus 6 times negative 3 plus 8. And this is going to give me 9 plus a negative 18 plus an 8. I don't like that double sign in there. Let me just get rid of it. Okay, and now I'm going to look. I have 17 positives. I have 18 negatives. The answer must be negative 1. Oh, not a negative 7. Excuse me. Negative 1. All right, so there is my vertex. Ooh, I have a Java update available. How exciting. Okay, step 4. I'm going to go looking for my zeros, my actual root. I know there's going to be two of them. This is where I use the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Very good. All right, now that you're tone deaf, I'm going to put 6 in for b, and I'm going to do the square root. So I'm going to get 6 squared minus, oh no, Mr. Lawrence, you're doing this the hard way. Didn't I already do b squared minus 4ac? And it came out to be 4, right? I'm just going to write a 4 in there. Why would I waste time doing that all over again? And I'm going to get a 2 in my denominator. 2a is 2, which is going to be negative 6 plus or minus 2 over 2. And remember, this is two problems. Let me get a divider line in here. There we go. X equals these two problems. X could equal negative 6 plus 2 divided by 2, which means that x will equal negative 2. Or, actually it's an and, sorry about that. There we go. It's an and negative 6 minus 2 divided by 2, which would end up being negative 4. Now remember, don't go looking for the y coordinates. We already know them. Negative 2, 0, and negative 4, 0. So I'm going to take these two roots right here. I'm going to plot those 2 points. And I also need to plot my vertex on a graph, and then I will have my graph. So let's see here. All right, let me get a graph. Graphs, where are you, graphs? Oh, graphs. Oh, where'd you go, graphs? There you are. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And so my roots occur at negative 2, 0, and at 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then negative 3, negative 1s. Uh-oh, something is wrong. What did I do wrong? Ah, it's not 4, 0. It's negative 4, 0. Do you know how I knew I had made a mistake? My vertex x-coordinate is going to have to be the average of negative 2 and negative 4. And I certainly wasn't going to get a negative 3. So -3, -1 is there. And now I'm going to try to draw my parabola. And I'll see how well I can do with the airliner. Something like that. Okay, there we go. And notice this beautiful piece of symmetry. In fact, I could take a line, and if I'd done a really good job, draw it through the vertex, a vertical line, it's going to look perfectly symmetrical. So I'm a little bit unsatisfied with that part. So, ooh, I know, I'll work smart, not hard. Watch this. I'm going to clone him, and then I'm going to flip him. This should work out beautifully. And there we go. Now it looks perfectly symmetrical. And remember, Corvus, the roots of my equation are here, not here. No roots there. That's an arrowhead. These are the roots. Okay. All right, we're going to look at one more example that's a little bit different. And let's see here. This is example 2, I'll call it. It's not from the homework. I made this one up. Y equals x squared plus x plus 5. And step 1 does not change. Step 1. Okay, A equals, B equals, and C equals 1, 1, 5. All right, step 2. We're going to check the discriminant. B squared minus 4AC. Well, B squared is 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. I'm going to get 1 minus 20, which equals negative 19. There is no solution to this, or no roots. Okay. Step 3, find the x coordinate of the vertex. X equals negative b over 2a, and that'll be negative 1 over 2 times 1, and that'll equal negative 1/2. To get the y coordinate of the vertex, I'm going to plug in negative 1/2. And that'll get me a positive 1/4 minus a 1/2 plus a 5, which will get me a negative 1/4 plus 5, which would equal 4 3/4. So that's what y equals. Oops, I lost it. There it goes. So my vertex occurs at negative 1/2, 4 3/4. Okay, now I am not going to look for the roots. I'm not going to use a quadratic formula. Why not? Because there are no roots. I'll get a negative under the rad. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my vertex. And what was that at? Negative 1/2, and then 4 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3/4 would be right about there. I'm going to go ahead and label that because it might be hard for somebody to tell exactly what point it is. Now, how am I going to get my other 2 points so that I can draw my graph? Well, I'm going to make a t-table. And I know negative 1/2 is a great choice for x because y is 4 3/4. I already know it. It's my vertex. I love to put 0 in for x. It's not always going to work, but it can. So I'm going to put 0 in. I'm going to put 0 in for x. I'm going to get 5 out for y. So 0, 5 has to be on my graph. Now, because of the symmetry we were talking about, I'm going to put negative 1 in. Yeah, I'm going to put negative 1 in. And when I do, I'm going to get 5 out. And I just did that problem in my head. Yes, I did. I didn't actually do the calculations, but if you do them up here, and if you want me to prove it, I will. Negative 1 squared plus a negative 1 plus 5. So that will be 1 minus 1 plus 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. See that? I get the same thing. And so then when I draw my parabola, it'll look something like that. And I'm going to cheat. And it's easier to do with paper than it is with the airliner. That's the only reason I'm not actually doing it. And there you go. And of course, if I want to nitpick, which might be a good thing to nitpick, those guys don't actually come back in. They keep going, right? And they never go vertical. And try to get your U as smooth as possible. The smoother, the better. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. There's two problems to help you get through the homework for tonight. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.